Okay, this is the Spaces board. These are three separate playing fields. The black is not part of the playing field, except for the portal in the middle.
The board is divided into three intertwined playing fields, indicated by colors. The black spaces are not part of the playing field. The game is played with 3 pieces per opponent, and one standard 6-sided die. The game starts with 1 playing piece per player, but can increase to 3 pieces. This is called start position. Roll the die to see who starts. High number rolls again to begin game. Move a piece the number of spaces staying within the starting color of the game. The move is over when the player gives the die to their opponent.
When you're rolling your die, you move any direction you want within the color that you're on at that time. Okay, you cannot move and end up on the same spot you left. You can't hit 2 spots twice, and you also can't pass through any space that is occupied by you or your opponent. But if you have a 3, 1, 2, 3, you can take out your opponent. And that's the object of the game.
Try to land on your opponent's piece at the end of your move. You may only land on a piece that is on the same color you are on. Replace his piece with your piece and give your opponent's piece back to them so they can use it again. When your opponent has no more pieces on the board, you gain 1 point and the board is returned to start position. The winner of the bout begins the next bout. The first player to gain 6 points wins the game.
There are edge moves too. Let's demonstrate some edge moves. At the edges, you'll see there's blue edges in the blue field, and there's yellow edges for the yellow field and red edges for the red field.
The colored stripes at the edge of the playing field are indicators of extensions of the board. When a player moves their piece to the edge of the board, and if the color stripe matches the space they are on, then they have the option of moving to the direct opposite side of the board as indicated by the same color stripe. The move must be straight across the board and to the same color. There are 3 correct edge moves for each color as indicated by arrows in the picture. Moving from one edge of the board to the opposite side counts as moving 1 space.
Let's say you roll a 6. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see that? You can pass through the edge, but it has to be straight across. No diagonals allowed. Now let's talk about the center hexagon.
The center hexagon is special. It is the only place on the board where a piece moves from one color to another. Otherwise, pieces must only move within the current color they are on. This is also the area of the board where a player may gain more playing pieces, up to 3 maximum.
You may not enter this area without passing all the way through and changing color and coming back all the way out. That means you need at least a 4 to do that. Let's say we're going in on red. 1, 2, changing to blue, 3, 4 to get out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can go in any direction as long as you change color. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
As a player moves their piece into the center hexagon and the black center space, the rest of the player's move is divided in 2. Remember the number you counted the black space as and continue moving your piece to exit the hexagon. You must exit on a color other than the one you entered on. Now take another one of your pieces that is not on the board and place it in the center black space. Starting from the number that you counted as the black space, move this piece to the other color you did not come in on. You must be able to move all the way through the center hexagon in one move. You must not stop within the center hexagon. Note, as a courtesy, it is good to announce the color you are entering the center hexagon from. Example, going in on red. This will help to avoid confusion. In this example, blue has rolled a 5. He moves in to the black space. Now he moves out and replaces the red piece with his own and gives the red piece back to his opponent. Now he moves his piece from off the board into the black space in the center hexagon. He continues with the other half of his move and brings the new piece out on blue. Remember that when you go in on one color, you must exit on the other 2 colors. Now that he has gained a piece, he rolls again. He is allowed to move any of his pieces on the board for his extra roll. In this case, he chooses to change color from yellow to blue, blocking red from entering the center hexagon on this side of the board.
So once you pass through and change to another color, you grab another piece and you start 1, 2. Okay, that count was counted at 2. So if you just remember that was a 2, you can start there and go 3, 4, or 3, 4, or 3, 4, or whatever direction you want to go, as long as it's on the other color. So that means that now we've started on red and we've come out on yellow and blue. When you get an extra piece, you get an extra roll. Now let's say you roll another number that's high enough to get through again. Let's say we roll a 5. We come in on blue, 1, 2, and we come out on red and yellow, 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5, or 3, 4, 5, or 3, 4, 5, or wherever you want to go. But now notice 2 pieces are on yellow and 1 piece is on red. So you don't end up on all 3 colors on the second pass through. It's just natural that when you leave one color, you're going to enter it back again on your second pass through. When you pass through and you get an extra piece, this is your opportunity to set up for attack, because you're going to get an extra roll getting an extra piece. So we're coming in on yellow and we're coming out on red. Let's say we roll 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, out on blue. Here's another piece coming out on red. 3, 4. Now, if we go here, we can get this piece in a 2 or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See that? If we decided to come out over on this red, we can get it in a 1 or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So this is the point where you set up for attack. Now let's say that he had another piece that was on the blue. Let's say the blue was over here when you came out on this blue. So this piece can get it in a 1, 2 or a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one can get this guy in a 1 or a 5. That gives you 4 numbers on the die the next time you roll to see if you get them or not. Okay, in this case, we didn't get them. We got a 6. So now, if your extra roll fails, flee in the most optimal way to reduce his chances of getting you. You can also capture a piece if it happens to be in an area where it can't pass through the edge. If you got a couple of your pieces that you can maneuver into position like that, you can capture him, and unless he rolls a 1 to take one of your pieces out, then the bout is over. You get a point, and it starts over, and you roll to start the next bout.
Special rules. 1. If the very first roll of a new bout is a 1, it is an instant win for the player who has rolled the die. This special rule is a result of the ability to pass through the edge of the board. The winner is awarded 1 point and rolls again to start another bout. 2. You may not end up on the same space you started on at the beginning of your turn. 3. You may not land on any space twice within your turn. 4. You may not pass through any space that is occupied by you or your opponent. This allows blocking strategy. 5. You may not end your move within the center hexagon. 6. You may not enter and exit the center hexagon unless you pass all the way through and change color. 7. If a player has passed through the center hexagon and has gained another piece in the process, then they roll the die one more time to move one of their pieces to a safer position. 8. When a player's piece has been taken from the board, the piece is returned to them so it can be used again. The pieces are recycled over and over. As long as a player has one piece on the board, they can still pass through the center and gain more pieces. The maximum number a player can have at once is 3, but the number of pieces used in a bout is unlimited. 9. It is possible to trap your opponent if they only have one playing piece on the board and they are near an edge that is not continued on the other side. It takes 2 pieces to trap your opponent's single piece, and the only way out of this situation for them is to roll a 1 to take one of your pieces. If you have trapped your opponent, you gain 1 point, the bout is over, and a new one begins.
Now basically that's all there is to it. It's actually a fast-moving game once you get to know it, and there's a lot of strategy involved, and it's a lot of fun. So that's the game of HYPERspaces. You get 6 playing pieces, a die, 11 counters, and the instruction book, and the 4-fold board in this really groovy, nice box. And there's a little bit of history of the game on the back of the box. Christmas is coming up. The winter months, being tucked inside all the time. The game's approximately $30. You can go directly to the website and order it, and they will deliver it to you. And you can even track your package if you want to. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you will enjoy this game.